Good evening, Fernwood. It is your improbable imp, Neil, and it's time for us to investigate another episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. We're watching episode 251 from March 21st, 1977. Last week, we had some big things happen. And the biggest thing is that after Tex planned to blow up the TV station for playing the miniseries Roots, his bomb was misplaced in the factory, blowing up Section K, where Mary, George, and Tiny were working. They have been trapped below the rubble for the entire week and struggling to keep their sanity. They're afraid that no one is looking for them and that they will starve to death. However, by the end of the week, a SWAT team has shown up to save the day. Tom Hartman is frantic that his wife Mary is trapped below the rubble and is desperate to get her back. While talking to her mother Martha Shumway, the two of them realize exactly how much they have stood in her way, and both of them hope that she survives so that they can treat her better. It was a beautiful dream sequence, and I cried. Howie Freeze has been following two news stories. First, the explosion at the plant, of course, but then also he is tracking down the white supremacist group that we know as the Glorious Guardians of Good. He went down to the factory to cover that story and got a little bit shoved out of the way because he doesn't have a lot of credit. He has, however, gotten some threatening phone calls from the GGG, which makes him think that he's on the right track there. In the meantime, Kathy, whose baby is still missing, received one of those threatening phone calls and got very worried about Howie. However, this led to an argument, and Kathy picked up that Howie has never had sex with anyone. On the other hand, Kathy seems to have developed a little bit of a crush on Max Slattery. Martha Shumway has her new job at the Capri Lounge as a bartender, and her family all now recognize that she is a kleptomaniac. She denies every accusation that comes at her and has been stealing items from the customers. Merle and Wanda have been having trouble with their maid Lila. Lila has blackmailed them into naming Tex, who is secretly the second in command at the GGG, as the new police chief. Also, Tom Hartman came over to rail into Merle for giving his wife Mary many presents. Merle has spent the week in a crisis of confidence, which got put on hold for a moment when he got a call from President Jimmy Carter. Loretta Haggers took over cleaning for Mary and ran into Merle, who was praying for Mary to be saved. Together they agreed to set up Mac and Merle's maid Lila that might solve both of their problems. And when it comes to the greater guardians of good, Vernon and Tech are at most paying lip service to saving the workers that are trapped down in Section K. They seem much more occupied, on the other hand, with framing the janitor for the explosion. They have planted evidence which might make it seem that a black man was involved. And then last Friday, Merle, at his new desk in the break room, is not too confident with the SWAT team that has arrived. Dash, however, promises that his team can save the day. Kathy visits Mary's place to find that the house has been entirely cleaned out. She runs into Martha, who has emptied out their cabinets and cupboards and has even taken the furniture. Then Kathy finally confronts Martha about her kleptomania, but Martha takes it as an attack and leaves with a chair and their straw holder. Down in Section K, Tiny asks to borrow George's belt and then attempts to hang himself. After Mary stops him, Tiny tries to find more and more ways to kill himself, and Mary tries to trick him into sleeping it off. Some people who are not sleeping it off are Merle and Wanda Jeter, who are in their living room on the couches because Lila has taken over their bedroom. Merle muses about his failures and in his depression goes out to get some pizza, at which point Lila comes in and nudges Wanda toward the floor. Wanda comes up with the idea that she and Lila could run away and be happy like they used to be, but Lila says that nothing can happen between them anymore because her heart was broken and she is enjoying the life of luxury that she is living now. However, neither of them realize that the diary that Lila was using to blackmail the Jeters was stolen by Martha when Lila and Tex were at the Capri Lounge. Last Friday ended in the factory break room with Vernon and Mac both questioning the ability of the SWAT team. Dash outlines their resume, and they are an extremely skilled team. Martha runs in, grateful that the team are there to help find her family members, but Vernon discourages the idea that they be so welcomed that they'd want to move into the neighborhood. The team do a final check on their equipment, which is state of the art, and then they pop into the air vent to go down to do the search. And down below in Section K, Mary stands there in shock, and things for the workers are looking really bleak. Everyone, that was an enormous week. I cannot wait to see exactly how this resolves, so why don't we get started with this Monday episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman.
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman!
There's got to be something to eat around here. There's always something a man can eat. You realize during the war we used to eat grass and bugs. Oh. Ah.
Oh, one of my artificial flowers. That really cheered the place up.
Yeah. Very cheerful. Do you know what would cheer me up? A string bean. I'd even settle for some of Martha's enchilada surprises, burnt to a crisp in her own inimitable way. Oh my God. A pink elephant.
Daddy, could you be quiet? Now, I know that you're having a hallucination, but Tiny is going to think that you're referring to him.
Ah, what does he know? He sits there, looks like he's watching a double feature at the drive-in.
Actually, I'm watching my life pass right before my very eyes in living technicolor.
You know, considering the circumstances, I think that you all have a right to be scared out of your minds.
Am I crazy? I must be crazy. I'm imagining God coming up through that air shaft.
I'm having a hallucination right now that we are being attacked by rats. Are rats edible?
Can rats remove air shaft vents?
Tiny, the hallucination about the rats is my hallucination. Daddy, the one about the rats is mine, and he's using it. Now, this isn't fair. Now, if we're going to have our hallucinations, I think we should all go to sleep and have our own private dreams.
Howdy, folks.
Is this Christmas?
No, they look edible.
Oh, my God. Elves, close your eyes. Count to 3. And when you open them, everything will be all right. Close.
1, 2, 3.
It's magic. You close your eyes, you count to 3, and now there are 3 elves.
Don't count to 4.
Howdy, folks. Skipper, check the pressure on those beans. Chuck, get me a reading on those fumes in there. Patrol to surface, patrol to surface. We are now checking on environmental conditions and will report. Over.
I don't think you're here. I don't. It isn't happening. It's
Oh,
not
thank you very much. That was very real water.
Did
Do
he
you
just
think
put a
that
blanket on me?
imaginary elves would carry real water? What do you think? Or is
That
it
is
just
real
totally
water.
different? It is real
That
water.
is real water, and we are not elves.
Not elves.
We are a perfectly normal,
Normal.
highly qualified SWAT team who are here at the risk of our lives to save you.
Are we saved? Are we saved?
You know what? I have a very funny feeling that we are part of Disneyland right now, and that a lot of people right at this very second are waiting online to see us.
Minimum traces of flammable fumes. Check that stress measurement on those beams.
Could I ask you a question? Did you say that we have minutes to get out of here? How many minutes?
I'd say many. Many.
Many minutes?
Many minutes.
Yeah. So then there is a way to get out of here.
Oh, yes, there's a way to get right out to fresh air. But only if you were our size.
What? What? Yeah, they're through the vent.
Well, come on. Well, ask them, are they alive? Ask them, are they alive?
Wait a minute. Hold it down a minute, will you, Tom?
All right.
Come on, let me finish signing these sanitation workers' contracts, all right? Then I'll be able to devote full time to this fine, cooperative, life-saving efforts of these little short midgets we put through that hole.
Oh, George! George, sweetheart, it is Martha! Hold on, darling.
Martha, that's the earpiece.
Mr. Bales, I feel just like Lee Grant talking to Richard Crenna. You know, her astronaut husband in Marooned. So close, and yet so far away.
Yeah, they're taking a reading on the fumes level now.
I'm going to talk to you about that, Vernon. I demand the full investigation of that. That's what causes
Tom,
it.
relax. We're going to have a full investigation. We'll get to the bottom of it. Just relax.
The whole world will be watching. And I heard that Charles Curald, that's his name, isn't Curald, is on the road near here and will be coming over right away.
Oh, Jesus, that's all I need.
Oh.
A 3-network coverage.
I hope they are still alive.
Martha.
Otherwise, everybody will be so disappointed.
Oh, dear God, don't say that, Mommy. They got to be alive. I mean, my God, they got to be alive, right?
Oh, Tom, please hold yourself together. We don't know for an absolute fact that they are crushed and suffocated under that big pile of debris. And even if they are, you are in no condition to cope with it.
Oh, God, don't.
I have learned from years of experience to try to think positive about a situation, because then it turns out mostly quite fine. You remember when George disappeared? I knew he would be returned, and he was. And when Mary was in that Chinese laundry with that mass murderer, I knew she would be rescued, and she was.
Yeah, well, what about Kathy's baby? Tell me about that. Where the hell is he? Nobody's found him yet, right?
Well, you see, that's what I mean, Tom. Only yesterday, I gave up hope of ever seeing that little fella again. And where is he? He's still gone.
Governor. Yes, sir, Mayor Jeter. Listen, Jimmy, the president wanted me to just keep you informed as to what's going on down here. And I just want you to know that we're pretty close at hand to victory here. Absolutely. Yes, sir. The what? Oh, them little swats. Yes, sir. That was a very fortunate idea on my part. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. No, I'll tell you, Governor, I'd like to sit here and accept all these congratulations and everything, but I really do have to run. I've got some lives to save here. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's that bad?
What do you mean?
What, there's no other way?
What? Come on, are they alive?
Wait,
Ask them.
What
Come
are
on.
the odds? Oh, God.
Ask them if they're alive. Ask them.
But, well, we've got no choice. Yeah, go ahead. Give it all you've got. I'll have a burn unit standing by. Over and out. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
We've got to go. They're going to have to blast open the door to Section K.
What the hell? What are you talking about? You know what that could do? That could kill Mary and George. What are you doing?
We know
Section
that,
K.
Tom. If they're not dead already.
Hang in, Tom. Section K.
Section K.
Oh, my.
Texas, do you have it? The diary. Do you have the diary that I brought with me to the Capri Lounge a couple of nights ago? No, it wasn't a Bible. It was a diary. Texas, I don't care how many people's lives you have to save. If we lose that book, we're through. If we don't have Wanda's dirty diary, we're nowhere. Now look, I kept it strapped to my thighs all that time, except for that night. What do you mean, look again? I only have 2 thighs. I would have noticed if it wasn't there. No, Texas. No, Pumpkin. I know you were drunk, but please try to remember. Now, I think I took it off to show you, right? What do you mean, why didn't I put it back again? Your hands were down there more than mine. Why didn't you strap it back again? I know. Texas, what does that mean? Where would I be if I were a lost diary? Look, Pumpkin, try to get it through your thick skull that if Wanda has stolen that diary back, we are finished in this town. It is goodbye, Fernwood, and hello, Folsom. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody's here. I'll call you later.
Oh, my God. Lila, what happened? Are you all right? Did somebody break in? We'll call the police. Oh, no, that's Texas. Lila, what happened here?
Oh, you mean all this?
Yes.
Oh, it's no big thing at all. It's just that, well, you see, what it is, I just decided instead of cleaning up, I'd mess up. You know, I never really did like being a maid. Because you always have to clean up other people's messes without ever making a mess of your own. So today, I thought every human being has the right to mess up themselves. Now, Wanda, do you know of any reason why I shouldn't be messing up like this?
Lila, let me put it to you this way. I think the mayor and I have been fair with you, all things considered, and I don't know if we've ever really stood in your way when it came to messing up.
But now the tables have turned and you want me out, huh?
Do you want to go?
Give me your purse. Come on, hand it over.
Lila, what are you doing?
I knew when I found you sleeping with Merle, you'd turn desperate. I knew it. Oh, right, where is it?
Where is what?
Do you mean that? Where is what?
Lila, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, you still remember that agreement we have, you know? The one where I'm in control of everything?
Yes, I remember.
Prove it.
Well, how? I asked you to run away with me, but you turned me down.
That's a nice fur coat, Wanda. Did the mayor give it to you?
Oh, yes, as a matter of fact, it was a wedding present from Merle.
Take it off. Come on. That's it. All right, well, there's just one more thing now.
What?
Rip out the lining.
Oh, look, come on, Lila, be reasonable.
Wanda, you have to rip out the lining or else. Start where it says WJ.
It's not that easy.
Come on. Keep trying. I must have left it at the Capri.
Lila, why this? Why are you putting me through this? Haven't I paid enough?
Oh, poor Wanda. But you know, Missy, none of this would have happened if you hadn't stopped loving me.
I'll try to explain it for you.
Listen, we understand. You don't have to treat us like a bunch of half-wits. Well, that's no offense meant. I mean, we were just, that's just...
Look, Mr. Shumway, we're here to save your lives. Try to remember, only little people could have gotten through that air shaft. All those big people and their big machines would have done was to push and pull at those collapsed beams until you would have been buried once and for all. There's a real need for a team like ours in law enforcement agencies everywhere.
Not to mention the fire department.
Right.
Yeah. And after we set you free, the world will know.
All right, we get the point. Just get us the hell out of here.
Well, we've assessed the situation, and per our pressure reading, placed nitro charges so as to blast us out without bringing the entire plant down on our heads. Now, is that clear?
Yeah, that's clear.
So then we could be killed?
Instantly.
It's clear to me.
Look, why don't the three of you take cover behind this counter and prepare yourself for the explosion?
It's a good idea. Come on, Mary.
Thank you very much.
Charges set for 10 seconds.
Thank you so much.
Counting down.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Would you like to...
9.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I have no idea what we're doing here. I really don't, but...
9 more seconds, I'll be on my way for one of Bunny's massages. And a big, juicy piece of steak.
7.
All I want to do is just sit on my old pillow in my old kitchen with old Martha, stuffing my old face with old corned beef and taters.
6.
I'm just gonna hug Tom and Heather until there's nothing left. I'm just gonna drink huge vats of coffee, and I'm gonna eat everything.
5.
And over again for the rest of my life. Just as soon as I can get that kitchen floor waxed.
4.
So we'll probably be having a lot of company over the weekend. We usually do, like in Fernwood. It's the kind of place when there's a big disaster.
3,
around
2,
the time. So
1. Oh, here they are. Oh, my God. Oh, Mary. Oh, my baby. My baby is still alive. Oh, my God. My baby's still alive. Daddy. Quiet.
Mary.
Oh, Daddy, sweetheart. Oh, Daddy. Oh, you don't smell so good, George. You need a shower and to change your underwear. Oh,
All
Daddy.
I want is some pickled pig's feet. I want some pickled pig's feet.
Here, you take care of this. Thanks.
God, I thought to send these little guys in here. Dasher!
If I recall correctly, I was the first to get in touch with the SWAT team.
Gentlemen, I will make it clear to the press that we volunteered our services as an illustration of our abilities.
Right on, Dasher. And you guys did a heck of a job, I'm telling you, all 3 of you.
Hey, you the demolitions expert here.
That's right.
Well, hey, darling, we ought to get together sometime. You know, talk balls.
Yeah, I wouldn't be at all surprised if this explosion wasn't intentional. Mr. Mayor, do you know that industrial factories very often are the target of crazed militant terrorists?
Bernard, don't even worry about it. I'm going to have a full-scale investigation here. I'm going to send in my brand new police chief to investigate this thing.
Oh, Texas. Texas is a good man. Yeah, that makes me feel good and safe to know that Texas is in charge.
Oh, Tom, help me with Daddy here. Something.
What's the matter, George? You all right? George.
Polish baloney. Some Polish baloney.
Oh,
Take it easy, George.
Listen, I just wanted to thank you so much, for rescuing me. I don't know how to say this because I never had anyone save my life before, especially you.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
Steady.
I'm fine.
You okay?
Yeah. Thanks.
Listen, let me just say that saving this particular life meant a heck of a lot to me.
Well, yeah, I can understand that. So, this is your little rescue team here, huh?
Yeah, aren't they cute?
This is a little, very cute. Little SWAT team?
Yeah, SWAT.
Merle, is this the new Fernwood police force?
No, Mary.
No.
Oh, listen, Mary, I gotta talk to you about something. While you were buried down in here, something came up. Something with Tom.
What?
Mr. Mayor, look what I found here.
What do you got? Excuse me.
Anybody know anything about this, Mary? George, Tanner, did y'all bring this down here?
No, I told you he was a good man. Look, he found a clue already.
Now, what is this?
Well,
Since it's a record cover with the name Marvin Gaye on it and the picture of a man...
A black man.
Well, you are right. A record cover with a picture of a black man on it. Well, I would guess it's a Marvin Gaye album.
Who in the hell is Marvin Gaye?
They wouldn't have gone to all this trouble to make a record cover and put a man's picture and his name on it. Well, yeah, I would suppose he is a musician. Oh, well, he could be a basketball player, I suppose, but yeah. No, I would say, yeah, most likely a musician.
Give me that. Now, you just look what else I found.
Oh, well, let's not jump to any hasty conclusions. Well, I'm sure a great many white people use Afro codes.
Look, I'm gonna keep my eye on him just to be on the safe side, all right?
Good night. Hey, wait a minute, everybody. Everybody, let's get together now. We're going topside now. I promise to stay in touch with the governor and Jimmy, so let's go. Everybody, pull out.
Daddy,
George, is it soup yet?
Come on, George. Daddy.
Is it soup yet?
No,
Come on, George. Come on, George.
Get out of here.
Up. Here we go.
Okay.
Is it soup yet?
Take care, Mary, Mom. Okay. All right. Come on, Mary, sweetheart.
And if you are wondering why I'm wearing a suit today, well, I have a gig later on after I shoot this where I am going to be in a murder mystery, and I haven't done that since before COVID, so I thought I'd try on my stuff to see if it still fit. So, luckily, I will not have to buy a new suit. This is my schlubby look. Today we begin in Section K with Tiny, George, and Mary all starting to feel like they're hallucinating. They haven't been fed for a couple of days, and they have been incredibly stressed out. And that's when they see our SWAT team, who are all little people. It's Dash and Skipper and Jock, I think his name was. And it took me a couple of scenes to point this out to myself, to like put it through my head, but Skipper, her look totally reminds me of Hedwig from the incredible film and musical Hedwig and the Angry Inch. I guess I should put a trailer up here, because if you don't know that, just watch it, because you need to. And I don't care if you don't like it. Just watch it. Just watch it. And then we cut up to the break room where Vernon is trying to manage the rescue attempt, and Tom is stressed out as always, and Martha does her version of comforting people, which historically has always made people feel worse. Very kind intent behind Martha every time she does it, but she's just really bad at making people feel calm. And Merle seems to be a bit more confident again on the phone with I'm not sure whom, but it looks like those charges are going to be placed. And then we have Lila at the Jeter residence looking desperately, frantically, just completely out of her mind for that diary. She couldn't figure out where it was. It took her several minutes till she got on the phone with Tex, who also had no idea where it was. And then Wanda shows up, and then Lila tests Wanda to see whether she might have taken the diary herself. And she pushes Wanda really far, and it really seems like, well, Wanda doesn't have it either. Well, we all know where it went, because as I mentioned earlier in the week, it was stolen by Martha at the Capri Lounge. And that made me worried because, how would Tex, who is famously a criminal and a violent criminal at that, handle Martha taking something that was really important to his status? However, Lila at least seems assured that Wanda doesn't have the diary, and, well, I expect we will see more about that soon. And then we are back down in Section K, where the SWAT team are taking care of our injured friends, and it seems like they're starting to come to, and it isn't an illusion to them anymore. They thought they were hallucinating elves, which is kind of gross, but they're groggy, so who knows what their brains may have perceived. And the team have precision demolitions, and they open up Section K when everyone shows up. and I couldn't see at first what Tex and Vernon were hiding. Thought it might be something that they found in the rubble, but no, it was something that they were intending to plant. We get little seedlets with Merle starting to tell Mary about his encounter with Tom the week before, and it turns out that the clue that Tex and Vernon were trying to plant was a Marvin Gaye record, and I would be surprised if anyone didn't know who Marvin Gaye was. However, the janitor finally has lines, and he doesn't seem to recognize Marvin Gaye either, which seems a little odd to me, but maybe lucky for him. And the bad news for him is that he has the worst person possible investigating this case. That would be Tex, who we know is a white supremacist and wants to kick all of the people of color out of the neighborhood, especially black people. The character wasn't named in this episode as far as I can tell, but I did a little bit of Googling and found out the character will be named Dewey. I'm trying not to spoil myself, so I don't know what's to happen with him. I hope that it is... Well, it looks like it's going to be exciting. I hope in the long run it is good, but we can only find out by watching. And everyone, that is the start of a new big week of Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman, it looks like we have some big seeds that have started to sprout and started to grow and started to bloom and starting to blossom. I'm not sure of the order of bloom and blossom, but you get my drift here. Thank you so much for watching with me. Thank you for leaving your thoughts, feelings, and impressions in the comments. Thank you for investigating another episode, and we will see you tomorrow night in Fernwood.